Okay. I'm not. I just got to remove this one. Hold on. Remove that one. I didn't even know I did that one. I'll do the what the F. Okay, Dr. Paul. Mr. House and everybody in the last week I did a quiz show, and I want to do it again. I think there's something really good to come of it. Now today I've been working on the jingle for the quiz show, so I'm putting it to Paul now to hear. He's got no video yet. I did try to do a video dressed in one of Kelly's sort of very psychedelic jumpsuits, but that's never going to see the light of day. That's going to be harder to find than the fucking Epstein files. Anyway, so
I'm trying to see Kelly's expression.
So this is the jingle for the quiz show. I've had some help from Simon O'Rourke, and here we go.
It's the quiz show on the Clo. It's the quiz show on the Clo. It's the quiz show on the Clo. Oh fuck, is it only Monday night? It's the quiz show on the Clo. It's the quiz show on the Clo. It's the quiz show on the Clo. Oh fuck, is it only Monday night? It's the quiz show on the Clo. Quiz show on the Clo. The quiz show on the Clo. Quiz show on the Clo. It's the quiz show on the Clo. Oh fuck, is it only Monday night?
Here we go.
His internet will lag and his prizes are crap. And I'm pretty sure he never took the fucking jab. But since you're all out of fuel because your government shafted you, where else can you go? And so, roll up, ladies and gentlemen, and come on down to Cafe Locked Out, because the quiz show on the Clo. It's the quiz show on the Clo. It's the quiz show on the Clo. Oh fuck, is it only Monday night? Come on everybody, sing along. It's the quiz show on the Clo. It's the whiz. It's the quiz show on the Clo. It's the quiz. It's the quiz show on the Clo. Oh fuck, is it really only Monday night?
So that's coming attractive.
Oh, Amanda loves it. Hey, Amanda. Amanda. Aussie Truth Seeker. Yeah, that's great. Anyone think that's the opening for the quiz show? We haven't done a video to it yet, but we're thinking about doing that. So it's not on tonight. It's on tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. We just thought starting the day with that. So, yeah, so that's great. I think Brad liked it. Yeah, baby, says Brad. That's great. So it's coming back at you this. So that's it. That's the opening song for tonight. How have you been this week, Doctor?
Well, it's nothing happened this week. It's been very, very cool. The world's gone mad. But if you go outside, you walk around, the sun is shining, the people are happy, they're sitting at the cafes, and may it long stay that way. It's my son had a stack on his bike on the way to school the other day. So
on the electric bike,
racing. Oh no, he just came off his bike in the wet.
Wow, thanks, Zusi. Zusi loves it. Okay, let's start with just a quick bit of let's try to be positive. Okay, now as you know, Albanese went to the mosque. And didn't go well, and he ended up with this face, okay? He's a little bit concerned, but it's not all bad, because all of us are constantly trying to get Elon to retweet one of our posts. But our Prime Minister got him to retweet, got retweeted by Elon. How fucking fantastic is that? How famous? He's now, last time I checked, he was on his way to 30 million views. And Elon said, here's a simple man. So congratulations on having the post of the week, Albanese.
He's not just simple, he's weak, and the saying goes that weak men bring hard times. But what an expression on his face.
Yeah. And I believe they called him putrid dog, which in Islam is something like radiant flower. It translates to, man of nobility. You know, you got to read between the lines. You know what I mean?
I think that nickname could actually take off. That could take off. Putrid dog. Yeah, I like it.
So here we are here. So just get some more controversial things out the way. And then and this is Albanese, and people said Albanese was terrified, and he was not. This is an image of him leaving that didn't make the press, and that's him leaving the mosque, and he was fine. You know, just let you look at it for a bit, and so you know. So where should we go to here? Let's just be a tiny bit controversial before we get to Dr. Paul's thing. This really pissed me off. I thought this was one of the most outrageous things ever to be on the front page of a newspaper. This was the West Australian a few months ago. How we stopped this kid becoming a monster. They actually put that on the front page of the West Australian. But I went to a Twitter page where someone had posted that, and everybody in the comments was outraged. Someone had done some AI to it. Now, do you think the West Australian would have the courage to post this version?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. It should have been more appropriate.
But it's an insult to say your son. You've got this beautiful son. It's an insult to your son. It's an insult to young Australian males and families who have. Yeah. Hey, Earl, you're getting your book on the way, man. It's an insult to, it's an insult to families have sons. And it's just horrendous. Just another meme.
I think
having 1970, 100, 2010, 80, 2020, 60, and now here we are at 40.
Yeah, that's no joke. That's no joke. I can imagine that they will drop the speed limits to conserve fuel. But you know that second picture you put up, which the Western Australian didn't use, I mean, it just highlights the attack on our young boys.
Yeah, and white people. I'm
and
sorry,
how racist it is. Yeah, and how racist it is. And yet, when you bring and discuss this sort of thing, that makes you a neo-Nazi right-wing extremist.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, just to flick those two images, is enough to really bring home what's going on, I think.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Basically, that's what I said before. You can almost do a funny video now of the last white Australian who's basically sitting there. We're all being gone. You know, we've been killed by vaccines, or we just haven't bred enough, or the seed oils killed us all, or whatever. There's the last one, and they go to this last one. You know, you realized you were the last. When you were getting close to the last, didn't you feel that you should do something? He goes, yeah, I really wanted to fight back and defend my race. They go, why didn't you? He goes, well, I didn't want to offend anybody. You know, I thought it was better to politely go extinct. You know, so it's bizarre, man.
It is bizarre. It is bizarre. Yeah. I mean, and it's linked with the attack on masculinity. It's linked with, they're doing everything to make us as docile and as unable to defend ourselves against their tyrannical plans as possible. And for whatever reason, they feel that the population of white males is public enemy number one, whereas previously we were the defenders of our women and our children and our culture. You know, messed up.
That's right.
Up. But look, it can always get worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know you want to be positive.
Your turn. I've got some other stuff to put up. Your turn. You put something up. Have a crack.
You want to be. So this week, I saw this, and it should be self-explanatory why I'm stirred.
This digital dollar that they're issuing and doing this pilot with, is it actually a dollar like I know it?
Yes. Yes.
So therefore it's worth 67 point blah-de-blah US cents right now.
Precisely. You can think of it as exactly the dollar that you know today, but it's in a different form factor, a different technological.
So this is Sophie Gilder, the Commonwealth Bank of Australia Managing Director of Blockchain and Digital Assets.
Format, which means that it can do things that the dollars we have today cannot do.
Okay, so what's the difference, therefore, between the digital currency that the Reserve Bank is rolling out and doing this pilot with, and with what I'm doing right now? Because I don't use cash. So therefore, all of my transactions are digital. So surely our currency is already digital, is it not?
It is, but the exciting thing here is if it's on blockchain rails, it means that you can interact with the digital dollar and a digital asset using smart contracts. So computer code that says, if this, then that. So imagine you can automate a whole lot of transactions that today you need an intermediary to be involved in.
So just give me a practical example of that. Would that be that I can transfer money directly to your account, immediately moving it there, because the blockchain would know each of us on either side of that transaction?
That's right. There's a shared ledger. So all it has to do is update and say that Ross has just paid Sophie. So it just updates a line in a shared ledger. It's very efficient.
So that means, say, for example, payments to business could be one of the big advantages of this, where, you know, we know how long it takes, in some cases, even government payments to go to small and medium-sized businesses. They could go immediately using these types of technologies.
They could go immediately if that's what you're looking for, or you could add conditions. So pay Ross, but pay him on Tuesday and only when a certain event has occurred.
Right, so that's okay. So then, given this pilot program is now rolling out, how long is it before businesses in Australia, before you and I can practically start to use this type of digital currency?
Well, I expect that the Reserve Bank will be careful and cautious. They will do a series of further experiments, and they'll want to know that they've got the design right. There's many ways that these things can be designed, and they need to get that right. So I think what's really important here is to do applied innovation to learn first and to get it right rather than to be first.
So who will be a part of this pilot program? Is it just the banks transacting with each other, or is there a broader audience that will be involved?
It's much broader than that. So it's not just banks. There's also some fintechs and different organisations which are putting forward.
Tell us more, Sophie. What are these fintechs and other organisations that are going to have so much power over how we spend our money?
Use cases. And in addition to that, we are getting customers to test, because we want a broad segment of the community to give us feedback on what works and what can be improved.
Okay, but then we should note that this would be what's called a stable coin, isn't it? Because effectively it is a central bank digital currency, so therefore it is rock solid with the Aussie dollar.
That is correct. It is 1-for-1 with the Aussie dollar. It's just a new digital form of that. It's slightly different to a stable coin, but it is stable in value because it is backed by and an obligation of the Reserve Bank.
So that's it. Australia has already released a central bank. That's why they kept having images of the Reserve Bank during that clip. And did you see how excited Sophie was? And on one hand, I get it. To have things on a blockchain that can settle instantly. None of this waiting 3 days, for things to clear. Things clear instantly, and the fact that they can be conditional, it isn't in of itself, the problem. The problem is who's setting those conditions. It effectively allows them to the government or corporations who are given this permission to be on there. See, it's they had an image of Bitcoin there.
Yeah.
Did you notice in the clip? But that's misleading because a Bitcoin is a decentralized, permissionless network. In other words, you can send money to anyone on the network.
There's no middleman.
And they can send it back to you without permission, without another agency, a government agency or a corporation being able to reach in and say, "Thank you, we'll take that out of your account." It's much more like frequent flyer points. That's why I call central bank digital currency, which is centralized, controlled,
Yeah.
and you could say not open at all, versus anonymous, permissionless, decentralized, private. Those are the things. Those are the things which aren't being discussed in this implementation. This
There's a
sort
great
of
comment
technology.
here. Oh, wait, finish what you're saying. Yeah, this technology.
There's a big difference between blockchain and this because it's centralized, and private eyes and sleuths, if they were digging into someone's life, remember how they used to go through all the trash cans and look at all the things they bought? Well, this effectively gives some unknown entities complete insight into everything that you spend your money on. And what's more, they can control what you spend your money on. So I've often thought of that when they bring in the CBDCs, they're going to do it really as a way of rationing. It's really like it's really a central bank digital currency because it's no longer money like we know it. It's all permissioned. It has to be permissioned. It's perfect for carbon credit scores. It's perfect for, if you don't get the government jab, then you can't get paid. If you can see with the shortages, it's such an accelerant for all the things of the WEF in the 2030, the digital ID, central bank digital currency, 15-minute cities, because once you've got the programmability, they can just say, sorry, you can't fill up your car more than 15 minutes away from your home.
Well, look, they're going to start rationing now,
Yeah.
They're talking about rationing fuel now. Imagine that digital ID, they wouldn't have to, say that you just do it. You turn up the garage, you can't get fuel. That's,
We probably should talk about about rationing, because there was an article this week in Zero Hedge, which is been very good. I think it's probably based out of America, but they had this article here saying, I'm an Australian wholesale fuel trader, and this is the inside explanation of what's going on. And so he's in pricing and sales at one of Australia's fuel importers, okay? And he said it's been an insane 2 weeks. Now, we don't purely wholesale, but what he said is that the Australian fuel is 90% imported these days, mostly from Asia, because they can do it cheaper. So we used to be self-sufficient for our fuels, and we used to even, produce a sizable amount of our needs. Not anymore. We've gone from 6 refineries down to 2, because this is the whole offshoring and just-in-time delivery. That's the anatomy of what's gone wrong. And he makes the point that not all crude oils are the same. I think the minister responsible talked about releasing petrol, and there was a clip of an Australian farmer going, "No, mate, that's not what we need." I'll play that in a moment, I think. Because they use sour crude, medium sour crude. That's what comes from the Gulf, the Persian Gulf. And it's not like you can flip the reserves that they have in America and then run that through the Asian refineries. The refineries are teed to a certain type of product. And by the same token, you can't just switch them off when the fuel goes. I mean, it's a very damaging process. These refineries have to work 24 hours a day, so they can slow down. But look, he's saying that on best analysis, I'm reading that as soon as the Strait of Hormuz opens up, it'll still be 1.5 to 2 months before the Asian refiners are running at full capacity again.
Yeah.
And then we still have, and then there's a couple of weeks of shipping. So even if we had reserves of diesel in particular that were more than 30 days, we're still gonna run into trouble, you know. So
Yes.
This is what this guy, this wholesaler, it also explains why, you know, diesel is, what I didn't realize actually, Michael, is that, you know, crude oil is actually quite easy to store. It's not, you know, but once you put it through a refining process and you get the different fractions, that's the stuff that we need and use, but it doesn't store well and it's expensive to store it, you know, and which is why they didn't want to spend the money. You know, it would have cost, I think, Tarek Brooker, who's been writing a lot about this, he's at Avid Commentator on Twitter. You know, so I think he did an interview with Martin North, and he said it's like 132 days of Indus spending. If over the last 10 years they put 132 days of Indus spending into this, we might have not been facing economic collapse and hardship. You know?
Yeah.
It just so he makes the other point that so that certain fractions like jet fuel have more than doubled in price. Okay, so some of the fractionation, which is important if you want to travel, if you want to have it like an air industry, it's already very strained and expensive. And one of the points that came up here, which I thought was good, was you know, the regional Australian wholesalers, wholesale diesel, all the majors like Mobil, BP, and Ampol, they're keeping they're distributing to their stations. You know, they're looking after their own, so to speak. But out in the country, that doesn't happen. They rely on wholesalers, guys like this. He's making the point that normally you say high prices is the cure for high prices and low prices is the cure for low prices in commodities. But he's saying, you know, we should be, to get to the beginning of why are we already rationing fuel? Because we're already in deep doo-doo. And, you know, I said to you, I think last week that we, you could fill up your car with some chip oil.
Yeah.
So it's true. I mean, it has to be very heavily filtered.
Well, apparently my bus can drive off oil from a fish and chip shop. It's got to be filtered down to some 5 or 10 micron filter. You can't. You don't want to have bits of battered Sev going through your car, your bus engine. But even filtered, especially in a warm climate, especially if it's, you know, preheated. Even I asked Grok if we got all our canola oil and all the waste oil. We export the waste oil overseas. We should stop doing that straight away because we need that for our biodiesel. We could potentially get up to 5 and over 6 to 12 months if we really cared. We could perhaps get to 10% of our diesel needs just from the stuff that we're throwing out or waste that we're exporting. And so I think it's time that we have grown-ups, you know, who we need grown-ups in the room who can both manage the supplies and make sure that they go to the critical areas, you know. Yeah, well, one of the big questions is why we're giving it away for free. And I saw this today from a woman called Susan Kokinda. And I've reached out to her for an interview, but she's very big, so I don't know if she'll reply. But listen to this. I'll play it in full. This is
telling you. This deal is a precision strike against British imperial control. Let's start with what the Australian Prime Minister said, because tucked away in his comments in the Oval Office is a key to understanding what's really happening.
Australia has had a view for some time, a bit similar to putting America first.
Right.
Our plan's called A Future Made in Australia, which is about not just digging things up and exporting them, but how do we make sure that we have, across the supply chains, with our friends, being able to benefit, seize those opportunities. So we certainly see part of what this is about isn't just digging things up, it's also about processing, including the joint ventures between Australia and the United States.
Did you catch that phrase? Quote, not just digging things up and exporting them, but processing them. And joint industrial ventures between the United States and Australia in Australia. In other words, Donald Trump is offering Australia a partnership based on mutual industrial development, not just imperial extraction. So why is that important? Well, here's a good example. Australia is the world's largest lithium producer, 52% of the global supply, but it produces almost none of it. They dig it up, ship it to China, and then buy back the batteries at a huge markup. Now, China's been kind of late to this game, but this is what the British have been doing for centuries, using political or economic control to extract raw materials, stifle industrial development, and keep countries perpetually dependent on foreign manufacturing. I think that's why we fought the American Revolution. Australia has been in this paradigm, though, for more than 150 years, and for most of that time, it hasn't been the Chinese doing it. In fact, the British have been pretty brutal when it comes to keeping Australia in its place as a raw materials producer. Let me tell you what happened 50 years ago, the last time an Australian Prime Minister tried to exert economic sovereignty over Australian resources. Because what happened to Gough Whitlam in 1975 is key to understanding why this Trump deal is so threatening to London. Australia's natural resources were owned by British mining companies like Rio Tinto Zinc, BHP, and other Anglo-Dutch corporations, which were all intertwined with the British monarchy and the elites. Prime Minister Whitlam had a plan for, quote, resource nationalism, unquote, to give Australia control over its natural resources, to process them in Australia, and to use that wealth for the benefit of Australians. He was also looking to the Mideast to independently finance this, which didn't make the City of London very happy. So the empire struck back. In November 1975, the Crown-appointed Governor General, Sir John Kerr, did the unprecedented. He dismissed the democratically elected prime minister and unilaterally installed the opposition leader as caretaker. Tens of thousands protested in the streets, but it didn't matter, because Sir John had used the reserve powers of the Crown to remove a prime minister who threatened British.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And here's Tom Vogel. I didn't know we were the largest lithium provider. Neither did I. How many Australians know that we're the lithium is everywhere? Why aren't we rich just from lithium? We're giving it away basically again. And I mean, it's nuts, but you realize this is how it's done. That maybe the politicians are trapped by old contracts or corporations or whatever. And this is what has to end, you know? Yeah.
Absolutely. We should be a rich country, but not while vampires are sucking the life force out. We should have the benefit of being able to distill and manufacture and process.
Wow.
I thought that deal was mainly about rare earths, because that's what the US military and electronics industry desperately need. But I'm sure it's a few different things, you know. But it would have been.
There's a lot of those in West Papua, which is why they reckon they're there as well, you know, to get the West Papuan rare earths. G'day, Les. Yeah.
But my understanding is the rare earths are not that rare. The actual the problem with the rare earths is that they're quite dispersed. So the mining of it requires a lot of taking in a lot of. It's not your ordinary mining. It's quite destructive of the environment and quite polluting. So it's rare to find countries that are willing to do that sort of destruction. China was willing to do that because it gave them a military edge, you know. It gave them a strategic, which they're riding to the hilt. But we talk about this. Why are we so poor? You know, as a country, as a people, and it's clear we're getting squat of all the stuff that's going on. We're not getting, we're not getting top dollar. I've got a 4-minute clip here. You know, Catherine Austin Fitz.
Yeah.
She's might be interesting. Look again, a little bit. Let her speak for herself.
Sure.
But it's a percentage. The Straits of Hormuz are hugely important. So now we're listening to the U.S. say, "Oh, we're helpless up against Iran, who's been suffering under, extraordinary sanctions. That if that was really true, they wouldn't have all these amazing hypersonic missiles, yada yada yada." Okay, and now what we're watching is the entire global economy being severely shut down. So let me give you an example. We're in March. What is March?
What do you mean? What is March?
Autumn.
It's the spring, right?
Right.
What happens in the spring?
Yeah, less demand for fuel, perhaps in the West.
No,
you plant harvest.
No, come on, you're in the Netherlands. You're in the Netherlands, one of the greatest food exporters in the world.
Yeah, right. Growing season. Yeah.
Farmers plant in the spring. Right now, we are shutting down the critical ingredients to most European factories who make fertilizer, right? Okay. And so by the time that gets through, whenever it gets through, it's going to be too late to make the fertilizer. You're going to miss the whole spring season. So I don't know. I just saw a headline, Goldman Sachs, leading member of the New York Fed, says that it's going to be shut down for 21 days, right?
Yeah.
Miss the planting season. Okay, so if you look at the material coming through that's critical to chip production, the material coming through the straits that's critical to fertilizer and food, and the material coming through that's critical to energy, you're talking about massive dislocation of the global economy. And if it goes on for long enough, I mean, we have Peru, Thailand, other people talking about doing COVID kind of shutdowns to save gas and fuel.
Yeah.
Right. But you're talking about intentionally shutting down the global economy. And it didn't start with Iran, and it didn't start with the United States. It started with the City of London. So Lloyd's of London shut down the straits with all their insurance company friends and reinsurance company friends, right? So the city shuts down the straits, and now the Iran is helping supposedly to keep it shut down.
Yeah.
Do you buy that story that the U.S. military is helpless?
No, but what I struggle with is it seems like a lot of countries and citizens across the world are going to suffer as a result of this war and as a result of the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. So there will be global disorder and chaos to a large extent. And even if you look at Japan, they're especially vulnerable. But in the Second World War, Japan did Pearl Harbor, at least that's the common story, because they were shut off from the oil market. So when countries are in desperate position, they're going to take desperate measures. So this could easily lead to a much larger world war, this conflict in the Middle East. So that's a huge gamble then that the global elite, for example, are taking, because they run a risk themselves too. If we have a nuclear escalation and a nuclear holocaust, what's in it for them?
So, well, what's in it for them is implementing the control grid and depopulation together.
Yeah.
That's what's in it for them. If this is, because we don't know yet. I think it's too early. I can't tell whether you're looking at massive incompetence on the basis of the U.S. or you're looking at an intentional desire to shut down. So this is COVID 2.0.
Yeah.
Because this is how you shut down. This is a new excuse to shut down to preserve energy and food. I think the big problem here is famine. So you have seen the new administration in the United States systematically cut the domestic funds that are available to support food for poor people in emergencies, as well as the USAID and State Department aid to protect countries that have emergencies, like food. So you have, I don't know, 25 maybe $1 billion traditionally that the U.S. had available to stop famines, that money is all cut. And now you have something that's creating the conditions of famine. So, to me, that's very disturbing. But it's
Yeah, it is a bit disturbing, isn't it?
I have heard about that. I have heard that they're saying September is when it'll really hit, because when the crops need it.
I think it'll hit different places at different times. My concern is that we're 100% importers, except for a little bit of bio. We do produce a tiny bit of biodiesel, but and the fuels that we get come from Asia. And where does Asia get its fuel from? The Persian Gulf. And they're running out, and we've got China now that's not exporting. I think 30% of our diesel came from China. They're no longer, they're holding on to their diesel, refined diesel for themselves. And even Singapore, Malaysia, they're all hanging out like the rest of us or will be for these deliveries, particularly of diesel, but also of gas and all the other fractions and petrol. And
well, you say we have depopulation.
Yeah,
what better way to depopulate the world quickly than a worldwide famine?
Yeah. I think this is the COVID 2.0. It's like March. It's March 2020, but only this time. So I don't think it's a coincidence that they're bringing in the control grid, also known as the central bank digital currency, at the same time, because its key job is rationing.
Yeah, it's extraordinary, isn't it? We're literally. I think we've been waiting a few weeks just to see what happens. It's like, I think it's only 1 week, and we're stuck in here now. I'm reluctant to. I was going to head up, but I'm reluctant to head up because, who knows what the fuel could get to. So we're just going to wait it out for a few weeks, and we're doing some work while we're here. But yeah, like everyone else, you're just looking at it going, okay, this is it. No, people are telling you to go out and not panic, but they're telling you to buy supplies now. I talked to a farmer yesterday. He's got 2 years worth of diesel. I won't say where he is because they'll probably come after him, but he's been prepared for it. So it's going to be extraordinary. I mean, you cross the country, our farming is all done with huge machines. It's not people out there plowing fields with horses. This is all. We're in an industrial farm community, so that needs diesel and this. So yeah, it's extraordinary time.
And at the same time, this is Australia, countries with the highest household debt.
How do we rate? We number one? I bet we're number one. We're number one.
That's us. At the very top, 112%. Canada is number 2, Netherlands is number 3, New Zealand is number 4. South Korea, whose currency and markets have had a massive response to what's going on in the Persian Gulf, is number 5. So there's going to be economic fallout to all this too, which is because we're already so highly indebted, and this is household debt.
Yeah. And if there's, it does feel like the great storm's approaching. I have to admit, it does. I actually wrote a piece the other day called "Turning Lights On" or something. It's about lighthouse keepers. I wondered if you guys want to use it in your declaration. It's an article on it. Anyway, we'll get to that later. Let's let's do a big congratulations to One Nation, Pauline Hanson, Malcolm Roberts, not so much Barnaby, but what they've done in South Australia will be sending shivers of fear through Labor all over Australia. I've never seen Australians so hungry for change, and looking at our politicians just with like shaking their heads. It's an extraordinary time there too. You know, it's like we're being governed by idiots. We're just waking up to the fact that, you know, they're just not fit for purpose. They're just not fit for purpose. And to emphasize the point, Albanese goes to the mosque and just keeps doing one dumb thing after another. And I mean, the Jews booed him in Bondi, the Muslims booed him in Lakima, wherever that place is called. And if he dares to drive past a garage, every white Australian will be fucking ready to boo him as well. You know what I mean? So this is a totally.
He's so finished.
I wonder if we go this week. I wonder if Labor will have a shift this week or next week and just.
Do you know what I think? Do you know what I think has been quite pivotal in One Nation's raging support, apart from the politicians being completely out of touch and incompetent and useless? It's her ads, her cartoons.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. Also, yeah, play that. But I also think, yeah, do it. But I also think before you play it, the other thing is she's remained who she is. She hasn't changed that much. You know, she is who she is. And she's gone through everything. She's still here. People are getting terrified and they're looking for strength. She's the strongest person in Canberra as far as they can see. You know.
Well, she's more authentic than your average politician.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are great.
All right, Elbo, why don't you come up here and explain what net zero means?
Yep. Oh, I'd love to, Miss Senator Hanson.
Up the front, Elbo. Come on.
Yeah, well, you see, looks like there's not enough time. Oh, well, come on, everyone. It's time to head to recess.
More like time we head into recession.
Good one, Bob.
Huh? I don't get it.
Elbo, he's right. We're in big trouble. We're going into recession and it's all our fault.
Jim, put me down. It's not our fault, Jim. It's never our fault. It's that pesky Morrison. He handed over a broken economy. You know, they always do this to us, the libs. They hand over the economy just as it's about to crash. You're right. They've done it for decades. We need to blame them. Yeah, well, that's what we'll tell the people anyway. They always buy it. The people aren't buying anything at the moment. Look at this. Consumer spending's completely stopped. If we can't deny it, Jim, we're just going to have to cover it up. That's what Rudd did. We'll just flood the country with immigrants to artificially fluff up the economy. There's not enough time, Elbo. It's the end of the financial year. There's only one way we're going to magically fix this overnight. Yes, with sound economic principles. What? No, Jim. With an end of financial year sale. Hey, it's me, Anthony Albanese, and here's another Labor Party short-term sugar fix for you. That's right, no long-term vision, no lock-in contracts, everything has to go. Check out these natural resources. They're up for sale and going cheap. We've got Aussie manufacturing flying out the door. Philip Lowe, get him out of here. Looking for some agricultural land? Here, take Tassie, but you better get in quick before China takes the lot. Check out these election promises. Sure, they might be a bit broken, but they're still good. But don't just take my word for it. He's Australia's #1 salesman, Linda Burney. Yeah, good one, Bernie. We're getting rid of everything. Australia Day, gone. Culture, gone. Liquor ban in Alice Springs, gone. So come on down and stimulate our broken economy with Labor's end of financial year sale. But you better act fast because we're nearly completely sold out.
Wow, that's great. I might take over for a sec because I got some just some interesting things to post. We've been watching from England with this. You know, I posted this the other day. A Muslim man who raped a 13-year-old girl in the UK was allowed to walk free because he didn't know rape was illegal. And we're watching this in the UK thinking, this is, where's my other one? This is horrendous, but it's actually happening here as well, to our horror. I'll just see if I can find it. I thought I had it all ready to go, but it seems I've missed it.
It's classic. It's classic two-tier justice, isn't it?
Yeah. So here it is. This happened. I believe this is Australia. So this guy here, Abtar, 19, is newly arrived Iraq refugee living in Australia. In August, he raped a 15-year-old Aussie girl at knife point with an accomplice. He filmed it. And then he did the same thing to a second girl. Justice Richard Burton, there he is. Good on you, Richard, with your stupid hat. Has unbelievably decided to allow that man, Al Afamay, back into the streets after his father sent a letter from wherever he's from, Iraq, explaining that his son is a really kind, family-orientated man and the victim of bullying. He's the victim. The double rapist is the victim. And his bail is said just 30,000, so he's now out on the streets. So it's happening here now. I mean, that's... You just... What about our girls? Where's the, here's this judge looking at this man.
Exactly.
What about our young women who just want to walk around in the streets and not be frightened that they're just going to be gang raped? It's...
I'm upset. I'm upset that he didn't experience a bit of Aussie justice,
Yeah. Yeah. And I want to show another thing too. There's just two more things. That Dr. Rowe here are trying to question a politician on why they voted for late-term abortions, and she just doesn't want to answer. So watch this. But the thing is, this is why Labor's going to lose. The people now have real questions, and they just don't want to answer any of them. She's amazing.
Don't you have any real crime to deal with?
Can I have some assistance out here, please?
There were two bills.
Hello, how are you? Good to see you. How are you? How are you today?
Good. Laura, do you want to come around? I just wanted to do a quick interview now.
No, thanks.
Oh, why is it not playing? Let's see if it plays. Play it again, see if it plays.
Don't you have any...
Looks like it's stuck there. All right. Anyway, so she basically just wants to ask her why you voted so passionately for abortion right up to birth. And the woman eventually was demanding that the cops came. And she was trying to, it was just an incredible, I'm sure the whole thing doesn't work. It's just incredible. And then she went up to another Labor guy, I think, and he didn't want to answer either. But this woman just did not want to answer. And I think because it's such a dramatic change to our culture, that they should say, yeah, this is why I voted, this is what I thought, but they don't, and people are sick of this. They're really, really sick of not getting answers from the politicians. And I'm hearing lots of people saying that, when we're talking here in Perth, that's what they're getting sick of. The other thing too, and I've got something positive to end on, but we've seen Bud Light go down because they used that girl on there. We've seen Jaguar go down because I don't understand what Jaguar was thinking. I mean, that was
Faguar. I think they changed their name to Faguar. That's how I understood
it. There was some serious stuff going down when they made that ad. So they're going down. But now, and I couldn't believe it, but now we're watching Cadbury on the same chopping block because they've introduced palm oil. And this is going everywhere on TikTok, on Instagram. Loads and loads of people are talking about this.
They are making lower quality, cheaper chocolate for Ireland and the UK markets than they are in other countries. So this is a Cadbury's bar in Ireland. I've talked about it before, how they're only using 20% cocoa solids now in their chocolate, so a really low amount of cocoa solids for milk chocolate. They also use palm oil to make this really cheap to manufacture. Now, a follower who lives in Australia sent me a picture of the Cadbury's label in Australia. Look at the difference. I'm going to put a picture of it here now. They are using 27% cocoa solids in the same Cadbury's bar in the Australian.
And so this is, these things are going down. Apparently it's happening here too. We actually went and looked at a label. So we'll keep an eye on that. But we literally could see Cadbury's for, who would see that? The other thing was Meta. I didn't put that up, but Zuckerberg just shut down the metaverse because no one used it, and I'm not even sure what it was. It cost $80 billion. And and then the other thing too is like this is really going on. I just wanted to play this out of honor to this guy. This is a detransitioner, but listen to the message that he says. This is a real call for help to stop this insane ideology, which is getting our kids to transition when they might be just gay or lesbian or just lonely. But listen to
I found trans influencers on. I just wanted to be normal and loved. When I was 12, I found trans influencers online who looked like me as kids. They said, change your body and your life gets better. And I thought that's my way out. At 13, my doctors told my mom she had a daughter, not a son. He told her 60% of trans kids kill themselves if they don't undergo sex-rejecting interventions. That wasn't true. But my mom loved me and followed the doctor's advice. The doctor told me I was too feminine to find love as a man and that gay men don't want someone like me. That I needed to change my body if I wanted to find a husband. I was put on estrogen and blockers at the age of 13 and my body fell apart. Nipple leakage, brain fog, chest pain, depression. I was urinating blood and had ulcers in my bladder and was too weak to attend school. When I told my doctor how sick I was, he looked at me and said, welcome to womanhood. What they were doing has a name. It's called transing the gay away, and there's nothing wrong with being gay.
That's it.
This bill forces insurance companies to fund this cruel homophobia. It continues the lie that some children are born in the wrong body. Vote no.
I wanted to play that. I really admired him. That's and such a tragic story, you know. And he's just gay. I mean, let's be honest, you know. There's I'm a believer that you're born gay. I know there's people think other things, but I think that you just
But what they did to him as a young boy to irreversibly change him with surgery and or hormone disruptors. It's tragic. It's trans. I've heard it called something like Transhausens by proxy. It's Munchausen's. But the illness, that's often like when there's a parent who's abusing a child through, making them go through procedures and suffering. But it's our actual, medical profession that's complicit in it. And
it's not even a medical profession, actually. I was going to save this for the quiz show, but I will play it. Do I have it here? There was, there was a thing of just women dancing, just dancing and dancing. And you think, what are they dancing of? And they were dancing because they're transitioning their kids. And it's like they're celebrating. You look at it in shock, you know. But anyway, who knows? You know, this is,
You're in Western Australia. Have you heard about Western Australian Labor trying to bring in post and boast laws?
I'll just answer this. So Brad, BS that you are not born gay. Oh, so someone said you're not born gay. I remember, look, to be honest, I was at a Christmas dinner once years and years ago with a family relative that I won't mention, and I was trying to be on my best behavior, and they said, let's call them Jenny. There's no Jenny. Let's go. And I was trying to be on my best behavior, and this woman said, gays aren't really gay. They just do it to insult God. And out of my mouth, I was eating my turkey. I said, Jenny, you don't take your dick up your ass unless you like it. And I'm sorry, but that's the fucking truth. That's the fucking truth. And I've interviewed so many gay people for other work I've done in Dubai. They knew in the sandpit. This is just how it works. It doesn't fit with your idea of God. Well, not my problem. This is thing, but that's what I really believe. And this is what they're doing in schools. And Miss Lister says it the best. You know, she's brilliant what she does when she comes up. And so it's really sad. It's insane at the moment, you know, and the sanity's coming down from the top. It's not like it's not like the insanity's at the bottom and we got the Albanese going, hey guys, just calm down. This doesn't make any sense. Down here, we're common sense and we can discuss. Up there, it's insane. It's insane.
Yeah.
Albanese actually left the mosque and said, no, it was fine. No one said anything. And we're going, are you kidding me? The whole world saw it, mate. The whole world saw it. Yeah, it's insane. That was the other thing. The only thing I wanted to put up. Actually, I want to do that one tonight. There's just to have a bit of a smile before we move on. I think this is probably the funniest thing in the history of the presidency, of which Trump owns basically the number 20 20 quotes from any president, the funniest president. But you know what I'm going to play, but you have to see it. This is just gold.
Friend, but one question: why didn't you tell U.S. allies
Watch your face.
Europe and Asia, like Japan, about the war before attacking Iran? So we are very confused about we Japanese citizens.
Well, one thing you don't want to signal too much. You know, when we go in, we went in very hard, and we didn't tell anybody about it because we wanted surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Okay, why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? Okay, right?
You just got to look at her face one more
time.
time.
Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Because we want.
She couldn't shift more uncomfortably if she had anyway. I won't go there.
Surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Okay, why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? Okay, right? You know.
Yeah, I saw that a few days ago. I thought, like, your jaw just dropped. She did well. Apparently, she gave him a big hug when she left.
She gave him a big hug before.
Oh, well, maybe not after.
No. She should have come back and said, "We were pretty surprised by the atomic bombs, to be honest. You know, that got us. You know,
yeah, that's right.
You know, but yeah, that was. It's hard to believe. People say, "Oh, he's controlled." That does not sound or look like someone who's being controlled. You know what I mean? Our politicians sound and look controlled. He does not look or sound controlled. So I don't know what's going on. I really don't. I'm down here with the pawns. I don't know what's going on. But yeah.
I think that's the Trump school of diplomacy.
Okay, your turn. What do you got?
So I saw this the other day, and you're in Western Australia, and apparently Western Australian Labor is ramming through something called post and boast laws, where they can throw you in jail for up to for 3 years for posting about a protest.
About a protest.
For posting a protest photo. You know, even an old one, even if you weren't there, even if it was overseas, you know, if it has something in it that they define.
Look into
that. It's it's a bit like in the Gulf countries at the moment, and in Israel, if you post a missile strike, or you post a refinery blowing up or whatever. They don't go after the Iranians. They go after the person who took the video. You know, this is where we're at. You know, and so let me play this. This is 2 minutes. I thought it's sort of interesting.
Hello, I'm looking for anyone in WA who has ever posted any protest online. It doesn't have to be you in the protest, just any protest that you've ever posted about anywhere in the world, but you have to be from WA. It's for a huge timely campaign. It's actually not affiliated with any political party, so it doesn't have to be any protest aligned with my values or the values of the Greens or the values of Labor or the values of Liberal. Like, the more types of people we can get posting about this, the better. It doesn't matter if you have a large following or not. I just want to know if you've ever posted a photo of a protest, because WA Labor is about to make post and boast laws illegal. So that is going to have a prison sentence of 3 years if you've ever posted anything about a protest, whether it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, not for being at the protest, not for doing a crime. The crime will be posting about a protest. So I want to collect as many of these photos, just with the caption, "I could go to jail for posting this photo," just to put pressure on the Labor government to define these laws better, because currently they're too broad. So anyone at any time, once these laws are made, in the future, whatever government is in power can put you in jail for 3 years for simply posting about a protest, whether or not you're at the protest. So if you posted a protest in Minnesota, not even in Australia, if you posted a protest about Palestine, but you have to be from WA, because we have to stop these laws because they're ridiculous. So literally it's only a small portion of Labor that actually want these laws posted as is. They don't want to amend them. But like the Liberals are like, nah, we don't know about that. Crossbench, everyone on the crossbench is like, but we need to pressure the Labor government and say, like, look at all these people. You cannot put all of these people in jail. So please reach out to me if you're in WA and you have a photo and you'd be willing to like post it and say, I could go to jail for this.
Yeah, send me the links. I'll send her the protests of us getting shot at the shrine.
Well, you're in Western Australia now, so maybe that counts.
Yeah, I just posted me at a protest on my Facebook page, my profile image. You know.
Yeah,
3 years for posting. I mean, this is what's happening in England. So this is what's happening in England. They must be frightened that the people are rising, and they're just trying to smother their voices. You know, terrify them into. Yeah, it's insane.
I mean,
could you send me the link of that girl?
Yeah, I will.
And send it tomorrow, and I'll get in touch with her. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got shades of, of, like I say, of what's going on in the Gulf states where you can't show what things come out your window. Now, presumably apparently the Greens in Western Australia are pushing back and asking for some more specificity, because it's really about criminality or bad behavior. But even a bad behavior at a protest, I mean, I think if I was at a protest and people were behaving criminally or violently, I would think you want more cameras on them, not less, because it's you want to reveal the people who are acting violently, who are behaving criminally. You don't want to be protecting them. Maybe they're all under the employee of the intelligence services and they don't want those images coming out. I don't know, but I'm just saying no one wants to see criminal activity at a protest, but more and more we're living in a country where they're saying, you can't protest, and now they don't even want you showing a photo or a video of a protest. And I don't get it, because like I say, my first thought is, no, you want to see that, because that could be a safety issue, and you want to reveal people who are, because there should be no hindrance to peaceful protest.
No, peaceful protest, or posting about it or anything.
And all the protests that I've ever been to, they would be horrified if anyone was behaving, in a violent or criminal manner, and would want that dealt with. So,
yeah, man, I'm with you. I'm with you. It's staggering.
It's concerning.
Shocking. Well, it has to be challenged. You can't do this. What are you talking about? That's our right, and that's incredible.
And I've got one of our favourites back.
G'day, Troy. G'day, Pauline.
Got Celine.
So in case
she's
you haven't
late.
heard, Australia is going through a teeny tiny bit of a fuel crisis at the moment. And basically, if you don't understand what that means, it means that if we as a country, Australia, run out of fuel, we are fucked. But don't worry. The clown show in Canberra has it all under control. And they've been giving us some really sound advice.
Well, as I've said, what we want is Australians to buy as much fuel as they need, not more, not less. That is the best answer for everyone. And if Australians respond in the spirit of all coming together and not panic buying, then that maximises our chances of getting through this situation. People going to Bunnings and buying out all the Bunnings jerry cans, that is unhelpful, that is un-Australian.
Oh, jeez. So
I think giving away our fuel for free is un-Australian.
Bunnings is quintessentially Australian to start off with. Secondly, they are really hammering home this term of panic buying. People are panic buying. Do you know why people are panic buying? Because they don't trust you. They don't trust the government to look after them in any kind of crisis. And I don't blame them. It's the typical response of left-wing governments and left-wing people in general. Number one, it's not happening. Number two, okay, it might be happening. Number three, okay, it's happening. But here's why it's a good thing. And number four, If you don't like it, you're the problem. Like, how can you set up a fuel supply crisis task force if there isn't a fuel supply issue? Or better yet, you can be like Tim Ayres here and suggest that the whole thing is just a right-wing conspiracy theory. I've said it before and I've said it again. This Labor government is a joke. They do not care about this country. They do not care about the people. They just care about votes. As for the solution, I'm not too sure about that either. But at the bare minimum, these guys have got to go.
She's good, isn't she?
Yeah, she's great. I reached out to her, but I reached out about a year or a half ago. She'd climbed. Maybe we should reach out again. But you know, there's it's staggering where we are. It is just staggering where we are, and it's staggering how out of touch Labor is. I mean, surely Pauline Hanson now must have them going, we can't continue like this. We're going to go under, because they're just so out of touch. Or they've got an agenda and we're not in it. You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. I got one more positive thing. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
A positive thing. I've got something which isn't, well, it's RFK Jr. It's a different topic, but
call out to one of our things here. Sorry, Paul. Shauna O'Brien. Hi, Michael, Dr. Paul, Jan, Lynn, everyone for listening. And my hubby passed away last Sunday, went downhill last 23 weeks after a bowel obstruction, passed peacefully home with his family. I'm so sorry, Shauna. Yeah. I'm so sorry, my dear. Yeah, sorry, Paul, you were saying?
Yeah, I was going to mix it up with this this short clip of RFK. A quick comment as much as anything else, but
yeah, I saw this. Yeah,
I will end all gain of function research. I will sign a treaty to end gain of function research to get all the nations to end gain of function research. It's just a disaster. It's given us no benefits. It's given us everything from Lyme disease to COVID and many other diseases. That RSV, which is now one of the biggest killers of children, came out of a vaccine lab. So and we can go down the whole list of diseases that down to and there's good evidence that even Spanish flu came from vaccine and vaccine research, and we don't know, and we'll probably never know. But there are very strong articles suggesting that now. The medical research on these diseases and vaccine research has actually created some of the worst plagues in our history. Anybody who reads The River will come away pretty much convinced that HIV also came from a vaccine program, and there's plenty of evidence of that as well. I'm not saying it did, because we can't say, but I'm saying there's strong evidence that it did, and there's very little evidence that gain of function has given us even marginal benefits, and it's given us horrible catastrophes, and the risks are simply unworth it. Oh, I will end it. I will try to end it globally. I'll try to sign a treaty of the kind to basically reinstate the Geneva Convention and the biological weapons charter that we signed in 1973, and make it verifiable and get other nations to agree on it.
Yeah, that's
Man, he's in such dangerous territory, isn't it? I mean, he's surrounded by people that would kill him if they could, and they might.
Well, but he's right over the target there, because
well, that's what I'm saying. This is how dangerous it is.
They call it. They've been calling it vaccine research, and there are still people out there who believe that vaccines are this great benefit to humanity. Here's RFK saying, no, this is one of the worst calamities that has faced humanity.
Well, look at this. All these pictures, these are photos of California babies who have died the same day they got their shots, brought to the steps of the California State Capitol yesterday. This is within an hour of people asking for people to bring their photos. They only had an hour, and people brought this many photos in an hour. They died on the day they got jabbed. I mean, and we can't talk about it. I was on a thing the other day in the city of, I was outside a chemist. Oops. I was outside a, where'd you go? I was outside a, why aren't they? Well, I don't know where we've gone. And, but I was outside a chemist and part of a protest and with Stuart. And I actually said, why can't we ask questions about vaccines? Why can't we ask questions? You know, it's the same as when you were young, you couldn't ask questions about Christianity. You know, oh, don't ask that, you know, just believe. It's a religion. It's absolute. And it's not a religion. It's a business model wrapped in the dogma of a fake religion. You know, and everyone's going with it.
And it's a death cult. And all those pictures of those beautiful babies who died coincidentally on the day of their injection does make the point. And I noticed someone posted this in response to that RFK thing, you know, patent.
Oh my God, they got the patents.
The patent number. So, you know, if you want to check out everyone, if you want to.
The patent office guy who stamps these things, I mean, they must just come in and go, what's this? Oh, it's 5G, and we're going to use it to imprison the entire world and make everybody slaves, the ones that we don't kill off with vaccines, and you included. And the guy reads it, looks down and goes, $25, thanks. I mean, he must just do that all day. You know, it's just insane. You know,
a few years ago,
the virus that destroyed most of Africa. Okay, $25, thanks. It's does my head in. I want to play something positive though, so I've been saving this. This is coming from England. We did have someone. What's his name? Commie somebody. He had a name. Commie. Mark Batts had him on his show. They were trying to push it of not paying tax or something. But I think it's getting closer now where people would listen now. I think it was a bit early now, but listen to this.
No, that Italy are fighting back by refusing to pay their bills, going on strike, and even stopping going to work. It's called the I Don't Pay movement. People are gathering in town squares and they're all burning their utility bills. People coming together like this is the only way that you truly take down corrupt governments and corporations. It's the age-old game of the rich getting richer while the poor get poorer, and the Italians aren't having it anymore. That's what the rest of us around the world need to do. We should all be taking inspiration right now from the Italians. There's a reason why this isn't on the mainstream news, because if people found out that this was working, other countries would follow suit, and soon so many governments would start collapsing. What we're experiencing now with the cost of living rising is part of the plan for Agenda 2030. They want you to own nothing and be happy. But in order for you to own nothing, you've got to lose everything. They've got to take everything that you've got. The only way that we can really, truly take down the government is for everybody to stop paying tax, stop paying council tax, everybody cancel all the direct debits, follow suit, get in the town squares, burn your utility bills. If we all do it, what the fuck can they do? Italy are a true inspiration for the whole entire world.
Yeah, I want to thank Tom Vogel. I got that from him. And I think that's, I think we're ready. Screw them. I think we're ready. What are we getting for the deal? Now we can't drive our cars. We're looking to lose everything. We can't eat. So what are we paying these bills for? You know, and the government said that the power bills would go down with renewables, and they've skyrocketed. They're just lying and lying. Why are we putting up with these bullies? And it's
in some ways, Michael, I don't begrudge paying for electricity and water, and what I'm least happy about is having the government tax, 40%, half of everything you earn, because they're not providing, because they're waste machines. Their machines of managed decline that are running the country into the ground. And so I would have thought people will get to a point that they're so pissed off that they'll say we're not interested in paying the government anymore because your side of the deal isn't being kept. We're sitting in the dark without food. Why are we paying you? Why are we paying your tax?
That's right. Absolutely. And once people, I mean, over here, the government has shut down fishing. So, and we're hoping to get to speak to some fishermen and charter people who are doing charter boats. If you're a fisherman in WA, you want to share your story to how your life's been affected and what you think of the ban, if you think it's right, or you think basically, what are they doing? I mean, Australians love fishing, and now here there's people hitting the wall with that. Apart from the fact of fuel prices and everything, fish and chip shops got to import from overseas now, or from the other side of Australia. There's just all these strange laws going down that don't seem to make sense, and they don't seem to be based on any real science. In fact, I won't go more now as I look into it, but it seems really dodgy. It smells, and that's why people don't trust.
They make sense if they have an agenda to starve us, to make food incredibly expensive. That would make sense. We had Nick Hulsher on the show, and he was recently there.
Man, we got in early. I don't think we could get him now. He's so big, but we got in early, man. We got him twice.
This is a really short.
Independent estimates of American COVID-19 vaccine deaths. It ranges from about 470,000 from Pfizer alone up to 840,000 American deaths from the COVID-19 vaccines. We have to remember that is rivaling the American soldier death toll of World War I, World War II, Vietnam, and the Iraq War combined. So this is very serious.
Yeah, so I think that was from that massive epidemic of vaccine harm, conference.
Right,
yeah. So I mean that's they're pretty impressive numbers. So how can they? But there's still people out there who believe that the shots saved, 20 million lives based on.
The other thing Nick did at that meeting is he did the raise hand thing. Raise your hand if you've been injured or know anyone who's been killed by the vaccine, like we were doing here, and they did it there, and the whole room raised their hand. So the thing is, that many people, but everyone now in America would know at least one or two people they've lost the vaccine. Over here, that's one of the things we're dealing with now. We're getting so hardened. You meet people and, they've lost 2, 3, 4, or even more people. It's just extraordinary. It's extraordinary time like that. That's why we have to look for hope. Have you got anything more? Because I've just got to get my quiz show ready, and eat. So because it's really strange over here. It's 6:00. Because we're way behind.
A couple of quick points.
Yeah.
So there was a what was it? A current affair. Did you see the thing on the current affair?
That was another victory for us, like Carl. And if you listen to it, even if you listen to a bit, before you listen to it, I think, unless I heard wrong, one of the ways the reporter talks about the jab is like with disgust in his tone. This is another victory for us.
Yeah, like when he talked about the Ring of Fire. Ring of Steel in Victoria. I remember that. But, okay, so, yes, it's great that they're talking about the unfairness that this guy went through. He did the right thing, as they said. He took the shots. He was injured. And then they described just how Kafkaesque the application process for vaccine injury was. And I think he had to put in something like 1,000 pages of it's awful, sure.
Sorry, Sharon. Good post.
1,000 pages worth of documents, and then 430 days to get a decision. And he gets the highest payout of any of the 5,000 Australians that got on the compensation scheme or put up. And then the government, and this was the focus of the current affair, that it's a vax tax to the max. The guy says it's a vax tax because he had to pay 2.4 million back to the government. After they destroyed his life, he puts in 1,000 pages, waits 432 days for a judgment, and then has to give it back. And I would be, I've been inclined to say,
it's unconscionable. It's just we've just reached this strange time now.
But the other thing is, the media is still a propaganda machine.
Yeah.
It's
Look,
okay,
they're not in the corner. They haven't given in.
So I see this as this is like a bit like a, what do they call it? Where there were injuries, but isn't it terrible? There were 5,000 of them, and isn't it terrible that the process, and isn't it terrible that he got taxed? But what the truth is they're having to confront the fact that there's way more 5,000 people who have been injured.
We saw this today when Simon, who was that guy? What was Ben Fordham did a conspiracy show. Simon and I were listening today, and with Cal, and they had two experts on. So some doctor, I can't remember his name. Some from the Nick Coatsworth. They just glossed over everything. Moon landing, glossed over it. This, glossed over it. Everything with that condescending tone. But then they got to vaccine injuries, and they go, "Oh well, of course people die from vaccines. We all know that." And you're going, "Hang on. I don't remember that in when you were pushing COVID. Safe. Oh, lots of people die from vaccines and effective. I remember it squashed in between there, like sandwiched in. So no, this is, and now they're just going, oh yeah, people. It's incredible what they're doing, and they don't see it because and all those poor people out there. Like last night, I was at this gathering, and they agreed the vaccine injured now are the lowest rung of society because they basically society doesn't want to know them. It's horrible.
They what I would have liked to see if it was a really true, properly focused report from a current affair, it'd be they lied to us about everything. They lied about lockdowns. They lied about the 6 feet apart. They lied about the arrows. They lied about the perspex. They lied about it stayed in the arm. They lied about it being safe. They lied about it being effective. It didn't prevent you getting infected. So what was the basis of when it doesn't prevent transmission? They had a small clip, if you notice in that, on the current affair, where they had someone go, oh yes, it reduces serious disease, the shots. But they didn't reveal all the lies. This is so this is why it's a limited hangout was what I was looking for, a bit like a limited hangout. Oh yeah, a few people were harmed, and oh yeah, they got through the Kafka system and they got taxed. What, isn't that terrible? But they don't deal with the fact that Channel 9 and all of them were complicit and didn't ask any questions and were lied to about everything. They leave that alone. You see, so that's why it's still very much propaganda, because if it was a genuine mea culpa, they would have to stand there and go, holy shit, we were lied to about everything. And I'd be angry about that, not the taxation bill of that's not fair. Another quick take. This is from
I just have to add to this. Hi, I have no idea how to say that name. We have had Meryl Dorey on a few years ago, but because of our support for William Bay, Meryl Dorey and the AVM bus do not want to interact with Cafe Locked Out anymore. And I know that you're saying we don't know anything, but we do know a little bit. We do know vaccines were bad. But thanks for being condescendingly rude. I'm sorry we're not doing enough to save the world, but enjoy your sun tanning. Okay, so moving on.
Mara does good work. She's been at the
vaccine.
vaccine.
She's a great person.
She's been at the vaccine game for a long time.
No, they do great work. They do great work, but that's the fact. We got officially told support William Bay. They don't support us, and William Bay's done great things too. So you had to choose. I think it was when he was going to the High Court for something, or the thing. But it's a shame because it's a wasted resource. But what can you do?
Now I don't know if you can see this, but this is posted by WikiLeaks, and it's a shame you can't see it better. But last week there came out this death rate from cancer, and the source was the world meter, and you can see in this one something happened in 2021 that caused this downward rate in death from cancer to change in all these countries. But look what happened. And so that was the 16th, 17th of March. Oh, look, the cancer's all gone away. They changed their data source. They changed their data source to one which conveniently doesn't have. So this is how they do it. It's like he says, it's a in-your-face example of how whoever controls the data controls what you. And this real-world data, there's a lot of dodgy real-world data. So that was the issue that Jiki is pointing to there. I think that's important. Our friend Simal Hotra is still under attack in communist UK. There was another big event this week, but someone mentioned cancer, so I'll throw this on. Another clip of
And there's literally over 100 studies showing that ivermectin has over 12 distinct anti-cancer mechanisms across 12 cancer types. A recent study implanted rats with glioblastoma brain tumors, one of the most lethal cancers in existence. They developed a nano formulation of ivermectin, administered it intranasally in the rats, and it shrunk the glioblastomas by 70% in 10 days. And so it's very promising. And we also see lots of case report evidence now of remissions and even complete remissions with these antiparasitics. And there's literally over 100 studies showing that ivermectin.
So there you go. That's Nick. And interesting thing was I knew about ivermectin and I thought it won't work for gliomas because it doesn't get into the brain very easily. Well, that's what they did. They put it in nanoparticles, not our favorite thing in the world, but they formulated ivermectin in nanoparticles so they could squirt it up the nose of these mice and shrink it shrunk their cancer, their glioblastomas. So ivermectin, again, I've been saying for a long time,
They can't make money out of it.
Well, they'll find a way. They'll find a way. I've got a report here of sound waves.
I'm going to have to go, Paul. I haven't eaten, and I've got to set up a quiz show. So you got one more?
I'm almost finished. This is the last thing I think that's worth mentioning. It was important this week.
Oh, there's so much to talk about.
I didn't know Aaron Siri had his own podcast, but what happened?
I didn't know that either.
No, it's great. It's on his X. And basically what happened was a judge I think it was about a week ago, cancelled the advisory committee on immunization practices. This is the committee which RFK set up with Robert Malone, Retsef Levy, a lot of people that that we know from the COVID era, very well qualified, but not according to this judge who has a bit of a history of what they call judicial activism out of Minnesota.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But the net effect is that at the moment, all the changes that the committee made, including trimming the number of immunizations, is now he's declared it null and void until it gets appealed and reversed. So basically, everything that's been done by the committee has been put in limbo, and Robert Malone is not sure whether or not he's not sure even whether the committee has been disbanded or whether it will come back. So I mean,
wow. So how long do you feel take? A year or something or more?
We don't even know if there's going to be an appeal. The government. I mean, one of the concerns that was raised in that discussion, I watched a 2-hour podcast yesterday. It was fascinating. Is that the Department of Justice did a really shitty job of arguing. I mean, they did worse than an intern with a bad attitude. They allowed they didn't submit CVs of these eminently qualified people. Instead, they went off hit pieces in left-wing media, and that's what they presented to the judge, and that's what he acted on. I mean, it's corruption.
It's money, man. It's huge money. Think of the big pharma. They bring in more money than most medium-sized countries. Switzerland, Sweden, big pharma makes more money than that. It's got to stay afloat. It's got to feed itself. So the gloves are off, you know.
But again, Juki, at that asset meeting that didn't happen because the judge dissolved it, apparently the COVID work group were going to present data to the panel to show that the mRNA vaccines are contaminated with fragments of DNA that can cause dangerous inflammatory reactions and cancer. So, and they were also going to present about a proposal to actually make a number, a billing number, something that would track vaccine injuries. They don't even have one for COVID vaccines. It's not a so if you can't name a thing, you can't track it, you can't trace it, you can't, So they were going to do touch on very important things at the asset meeting, and then it disappeared. It dissolved in the hands of this judge. Yeah. Now, you say I've got a lot of doom and gloom. Let me play this as my feel-good thing before the end.
All right.
Cool. This is a kid who's never played a single game. Yeah. Have you seen this? Should I play it?
Yeah, play it.
He's on the spectrum. He never got to play, but his mum said, "Look, he loves basketball."
Always on the bench.
He's always on the bench. He's providing towels and stuff and support. And then on the last game of the year, he gets him up. Anyway, here we go.
You caught fire. I just caught fire. I was hot as a pistol. Jace. But hard practice tomorrow, all hour and a half, and let's get ready for Arcadia. Okay. Let's go.
1, 2, 3, 2. Because he has been so devoted to the team, for the last game of the season, Coach Johnson decided to let Jason actually suit up. Not to play necessarily, just to let him feel what it's like to wear a jersey.
At least that was the plan. But with 4 minutes to go in last week's game, Coach Johnson stood up and pointed to number 52, Jason McElwain. After years of fetching water and toweling off other people's sweat, Jason was actually in a game. His first shot was a 20-footer from the right baseline.
Was it close? Did you almost make it?
I just airballed it.
I'm like, just, dear God, please, let's just get him a basket.
His second shot missed too, but the third was a charm. A 3-point no-doubter. And Jason wasn't done yet. Not by a long shot.
If I wasn't there to witness it, I wouldn't have believed it, you know.
You caught fire. It just caught fire. I was hot as a pistol.
Jason ended up shooting 6 3-pointers, one right after the other. He had 20 points total, and each time a shot went in, his teammates and the crowd went a little crazier. His last basket, right at the buzzer, created total mayhem. Because he is autistic, Jason says he's used to feeling different, but never this different. Never this wonderful. Steve Hartman, CBS News, Rochester, New York.
There you go. So that's how I don't.
Yeah, no, that's good. I'm just going to go out with some things. I want to thank Colin for doing a party last night for us and a fundraising party and everyone that came. But Colin, we're going to try doing a special story on Colin. He's such an incredible guy. And so we are doing several interviews coming up now with people from Perth. We've got loads booked, so you're going to see a load of stuff coming out since we're trapped here. And they're amazing stories. And including, I believe, one seriously vaccinated guy has a kid. He's basically homeless at the moment because, and he's only got a little bit of time to live. So there's always things like that. But tomorrow, big thanks, Colin. It was great. But tomorrow we're doing the quiz show. So I've been working on the quiz show all day, trying to figure out how to do the questions and just having another crack at it. Because last time we just threw it together to test. So I'm going to do a crack at it. But today we did do the jingle, which we've got to get a video for. So I'm going to go out with the jingle just to give everyone, let's see what you think. Let's see what you think. Yes, it's AI, but it's all our words and stuff like this. So maybe go out with a laugh and see what you think of that. And then I think Wednesday, so it's a big show coming up, including the Cardi Girls coming up and what the F Boys and stuff like this. So, and Dr. Pay tomorrow with Mark Nugabau. And so, there's a lot.
He did a great job. I watched Bruce talk about what's going on in the Persian Gulf.
Bruce is great.
And he's got such great insight into
incredible.
because he's a warrior and he's been there and he understands he understands war and military history. And I think he's right. They can't bomb their way. They can't bomb their way to success here, which is a problem.
We're all pawns here. We just got to wait. Like I say now, I don't have Trump's number. I don't have Netanyahu's number. We're just pawns in this now, and got to see how we're going to go through. The storm is here. The storm's coming, and I don't believe this was a war created on a guy with orange hair having a whim that he just wanted to take out a leader. I think there's purpose behind it. I think most of us do. We're all got a strange feeling, but that something bad's coming. But let's see how we get through it. Maybe one of the only powers we have is to try and remain decent human beings. And but this is going to be the real test.
We can. I believe this is going to trigger massive changes, but that's great. I mean, there's nothing like necessity to bring them because we've been very wasteful. We've been run by clowns. I think a design revolution is coming.
But it's a design revolution. But we got a war, and wars are not nice. They're just not. And I can't think of a nice war. And so there's going to be a lot of suffering, a lot of sadness.
But that's where innovation comes too, And Aussies know how to step up when things get tough. I think that's the opportunity. We hope.
We hope. We'll see. So guys,
we can do
so what we're going to do, the reason we're doing a lot more, sorry, Paul, the reason we're doing a lot more comedy now is we're going into a Great Depression. And when you're going into a Great Depression, you don't need gloom because you've already got gloom. You've got gloom up to the eyeballs. And so we're thinking we've still got to get these stories across. But George Keswick does it really well. The What the F Boys did it really well. The No Goat Show boys used to do it really well. And I think Paul and I do really well tonight. I think it's a lot of fun, but still getting hard things across. But that's what we're testing with a quiz show, to try and get this stuff across, but give everyone a laugh. Because if you know the Great Depression, the people you remember, the people who were really popular were Charlie Chaplin, who still got across the sadness of the era, and Shirley Temple. And so this is where we are. So I think we have to gravitate more to just lift our spirits. I think it's the purpose of podcasters now is not to bang people down with more fear, is to actually lift our spirits and just be decent as we can, being the flawed human beings, and we are. Anyway, that said, this is the opening song, and we're trying to see if we can, and then we can do this in various things. So 1 week could be reggae, jazz. Simon here thinks it should be like English pub Cockney music, honky tonk, whatever. So we've had various versions today, but this is where we are. So this will be the opening tomorrow. We'll try to get a video to it if we can. But this is for the quiz show. We're not calling it the conspiracy quiz show anymore, just the quiz show. So bringing up natural events that you might have, current events that you might have seen, and just having a bit more of a chance to look at it and see and go from there. Anyway, Paul,
I think you should call it the conspiracy quiz show still. I think the guests should come on with tinfoil hats. I mean, it's
we're not going to. It will just be me for now until we sort of we'll see where we'll go. It's all organic, but we're just.
Well, you should have your tinfoil. You should have your tinfoil hat on. I think it's
Oh yeah. Well, Kelly made the last one, and even my sister said, "I really like your hat." So we've got tomorrow. Leave it with us. We'll see how we go. But once again, to everyone watching, it'll be on an 8 o'clock. And we're getting time and music and stuff like that. But it's just to try start the week with a bit of an up before we go into the shitstorm that we're currently living in. All right. Thank you, Dr. Oosterhuis. And leave your comments in the thing to what you think of the song. Let me know if you're dancing along or you're just disgusted. So here it is. I'll just get it up.
Good night, family. We've been watching your comments and enjoying it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's an interesting thing anyway. So here it is. It's the quiz show on the Clo. Conspiracy doesn't sort of fit into the rhyme, so we'll go from there. So enjoy and let me know in the comments what you think of the jingle. Take care, everyone.
It's the quiz show on the Clo. It's the quiz show on the Clo. It's the quiz show on the Clo. Oh, fuck, is it only Monday night? It's the quiz show on the Clo. It's the quiz show on the Clo. It's the quiz show on the Clo. Oh, fuck, is it only Monday night? It's the quiz show on the Clo. 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 It's the quiz show on the Clo. Oh, fuck, is it only Monday night? His internet will lag and his prizes are crap. And I'm pretty sure he never took the fucking jab. But since you're all out of fuel because your government shafted you, where else can you go? And so, roll up, ladies and gentlemen, and come on down to Cafe Locked Out, because the quiz show on the Clo. It's the quiz show on the Clo. It's the quiz show on the Clo. Oh, fuck, is it only Monday night? Come on, everybody, sing along. It's the quiz show on the Clo. It's the whiz. It's the quiz show on the Clo. It's the quiz. It's the quiz show on the Clo. Oh, fuck, is it really only Monday night?